Nearly 6,000 people have been displaced from 7 villages in Sudan's West Darfur state. And this happened in just one day, as clashes between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary rapid support forces continue to drive civilians from their homes. These clashes started back in 2023. The International Organization for Migration says 5,975 people have fled the villages so far. The displacement took place in Sirba locality, where security conditions have deteriorated amid continuing fighting. People have fled 7 Sirba villages of Lakisa, Rofeid, Shibit Ardu, among many others. Most of the displaced crossed into neighboring Chad, while others sought safety in areas within El Jeneina locality, the capital of West Darfur. Now, the fresh displacements follow reports of heavy fighting in the wider West Darfur region. Darfur Governor Mini Arko Minawi said that the Sudanese army has repelled a large-scale RSF attack on Bir Saliba. Bir Saliba lies north of El Jeneina and is considered strategically important because of its location along routes leading towards the city. Now, the area has repeatedly seen fighting between the RSF, the army, the Sudanese army that is, and allied forces. The latest displacements are part of a much larger humanitarian crisis created by Sudan's war. Fighting between the Sudanese Armed Forces and the RSF began on the 15th of April 2023 after disputes over the integration of the paramilitary force into the regular military. Now, by the end of June 2026, the IOM had recorded about 8.69 million internally displaced people across Sudan. This is by far the worst humanitarian crisis in recent times. According to the UN, funding shortages further limit humanitarian assistance across Sudan. The UN's nearly $3 billion humanitarian appeal for Sudan is only around 40% funded, with $1.2 billion received so far this year. As conflicts still continue across Sudan, civilians in West Darfur are forced to flee in large numbers. The IOM says thousands have crossed into Chad, while others are seeking safety within West Darfur, with displacement rising and funding remaining well below requirements. The humanitarian pressure on Sudan's civilians continues to deepen. And there's more on this from our correspondent, Luisa Olani, who sent us this report from Lagos.
The latest figures coming out of West Darfur paint another nearly 6,000 people forced from their homes in just one day. Villages emptied overnight as fighting between the army and the rapid support forces flared up again. Now, the UN Migration Agency report says most of those families are already across the border into Chad. Others are crowding into El Jeneina, hoping it is safer. Now, aid agencies are tracking the movement and calling for better protection and access, but the reality remains the same. Civilians keep running while the guns keep firing in the almost 3 years war. From Lagos, Nigeria, Louisa Olaniyi, WION, World is One.